Hello people and welcome to a new game development update. It's been a while since we last did this, well, excluding the very short update I did just a few days ago. But this is more of a proper go through of all the stuff that we've been working on during the last 3 weeks. So what has happened in the world of Lavapotion? Well, first and foremost, we have released the game into early access and it's been a great experience. We've been getting awesome feedback from you guys, the players. We've also been getting good support from Valve on Steam in terms of getting the game featured. We reached the top list and actually made to the very first spot on the global top sellers. So being a small indie development team, that's a huge achievement for us. Looking at our studio, we will be looking for more people. Since we want to kind of keep up with the development pace and make sure that we can continue to expand the game in such a way that it lives up to the expectations of both the team and the players. Next week we will be revealing the roadmap that shows you what our imminent, soonish and long-term intentions are and what we want to develop for the game. So yeah, we hope you'll join us for that one. Carl has been working with the design to do a little bit of everything. A lot of balancing work has been done. The Shrine of Aurelia doesn't stack anymore. There are a lot of minor troop changes in terms of the stats. The building prices has changed quite a bit, and there are minor spell changes aiming to kind of remove any easy cheesing strategies for the game. He's also been looking at most of the maps, kind of fix them, make sure that they play as intended. And in a coming update, another really important thing that will be added with Carl's design and the coders, the campaigns will have difficulty, normal and hard. And normal, it's a bit easier than what the campaigns were before, and hard is actually harder than before. We will probably add easy and very hard later on. That's not something I can promise, but it's at least something we're thinking about doing. Another big thing is that there's been a lot of feedback around the magic system, and that like doing magic builds for your wielders is always like the optimal choice. Carl has looked a lot at adding magic resistance into the game to kind of balance it out a bit more. So now 3 troops have magic resistance as a thing. Also, any spell or ability that grants defense will now also give spell damage reduction. So yeah, we hope this will balance out or even out the odds a bit between buffing your troops, or if you want to go more to just buffing the essence and spell casting on your wielder. Albin has worked with Carl to create a new skirmish map, which is called Good Neighbors. There are 4 teams that starts with multiple regions surrounded by enemies that all have the kind of same aspect. And this probably will lead to a few like early battles for all the teams. As for the lobby and the multiplayer stuff of the game, since we are looking into sim turns, there have been quite a lot of changes here. Both for like the sim turns aspect, but also like the general just online multiplayer aspect. So one thing is that you can now pick a random faction when you join a game. So it's possible to just choose random as an option, really. There's also a setting where you could disable random events, because some of you might feel that they are not optimally suited for multiplayer games. The way we display games in the lobby, it should now continuously update with the latest data from our servers. So the refresh button, where you kind of had to manually refresh the list, that is gone, and instead it should be automatically populated with all the games that are available or open. So we list all public games in a current region, including games that are ongoing. Now let's go into the hot stuff that a lot of you have been asking for, the sim turns. And as we mentioned, this is something we have been working on. It's looking really good. It's not out publicly, not sure if it will be during the coming months or not, but most likely it will be released very soon on the public test realm, so you can kind of start to get a feel for it. So it works like this. All humans make their turns at the same time, and when any human player goes into battle, the players not in battle will not be able to move their wielders until it's done. When all human players are done, the AI player make their turns one at a time. There are no systems that currently turn off sim turns because of events happening in the game. So it's kind of first come, first served. So it's a bit about who plays the fastest in that sense. However, the host can switch between sim turns and normal online multiplayer at any time. So after you guys have tried this out for a while, we can look at system that might switch between different styles of gameplay, or like multiplayer style, to kind of prevent unfair gameplay moments where someone had a chance to do something and the other player might not just be as quick and, you know, didn't get the chance to do the same thing. So yeah, I guess this is one feature that we will just need a lot of play testing and feedback on, really. So yeah, should be out on the public test realm fairly soon. And of course, when we release a huge thing like this, we need to make sure that the HUD and like the UI is updated as well, because there are a lot of new features for you guys to try out and understand. The HUD states now support simultaneous turns, and the multiplayer settings have toggle buttons, so you can kind of switch between sim turns or normal mode. And the minimap now shows an enemy wielder ping a bit more clearly, because the camera obviously can't move around when you see an enemy wielder, or when an enemy wielder comes into your kind of area of visibility, because that would be very frustrating if the camera would like take control in itself and just move away from your own wielder. So that's why this is a bit more apparent now in the minimap. We also have the team banners show different states, like if it's actively played by a human player, if the player is in battle, if the player is ready to play, if it's waiting for the next turn, or if it's dead. The UI and look and feel team have, together with Carl, the game designer, looked at how can we make the essence system, like the magic of the game, be even more clearer and kind of more clearly defined. So essence specific spell columns now have a tier header, or it will be in a coming update, with the current tier displayed. So this is based on your skill level, as I understand it, and essence specific spell columns get darker based on the tier you have achieved for your wielder. There has also been frames added to the spells themselves to increase differentiation and kind of making the highest tier have more visible impact, so it's easier for you to see which ones are kind of upgraded. And the quick bar frames also now reflect the current tier better. And the quick bar is sorted by tier firstly, and the cost of casting the spell secondly, when you have auto-populate active. During adventure, only the spells that you can potentially cast in battle are now shown as active. So spells that are active has an approximated earliest battle turn you will be able to cast this indication, meaning like how many turns in battle would it take for you to kind of reach the ability to cast this spell. So yeah, it's just a little bit of everything. Even better explain our magic system to the players. So this is a really big thing that also kind of helps out with the downtime in multiplayer, and Patrick has been really hard at work with this, and it's the possibility to take control over the hostile unit when another player is engaged in combat. So pretty much this is the pop-up that you get. It's hard to visualize it better than this, but if a person goes into combat in a multiplayer game with a hostile, you might be picked to play the neutral units or the hostile units. This is obviously not the case if someone starts a fight against an AI wielder, but it's really interesting. We've tried it quite a lot these last few weeks, and it makes for a really funny play experience. But yeah, we're really looking forward to get this out to you on the public test realm and see what you make of it. And with that said, I'm thrilled to have you all on board. There are so many players right now playing the game. We have so many people joining our Discord. There are great maps being made. You should really check out the mods and maps section of the game, because there's just so much creativity going into that. And yeah, expect big news next week when we reveal a roadmap. So thanks. See you all soon again,